forecast. Here's KATC Chief Meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back. Well, the heat stays on, rain chances down, and we got a little haze out there today. And I didn't even have to look at the African dust imagery to find that it is indeed African dust covering the area today and tomorrow. So if you're an allergy sufferer, that could add to the misery that's going on, but no misery compared to what our friends over to the west are dealing with and down along the coast. We'll talk more about that as well. Let's take a look at the big picture. We have an upper level trough that's looking almost progressive, but it isn't, up by the Texas Panhandle. This is going to stay up to the north of us. That's shooting showers and storms across Texas, Oklahoma, and areas off to the north and east. Meanwhile, our weather being dominated by a strong ridge of high pressure and that African dust mixed in as well, and that's going to stick around for a couple of days. No rainfall to speak of locally, but you can see, whoa, look at this. I got a high in my hand here. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to just move this, but we'll disregard that high. But more storms off to the north and west of us. Sometimes the computer system surprises you. That was a nice surprise. A little weird, but nice surprise. Here we have those big storms across Texas into Oklahoma and then points off to the northeast. You can see it's very quiet in our part of the world, and it's going to stay that way for a couple of days. Meanwhile, the tropics are getting more active. Here we are in the peak of tropical season. Nothing, though, that is threatening us for right now. National Hurricane Center giving this little blob here about a 30% chance to develop. This one looks like it's going to develop up to 60% chance. Right now, we can tell you they're going to be heading toward the central Atlantic, but no major issues for now. And two new tropical storms, Tropical Storm Nana forming today, and Omar. Omar is going to be a short-lived system and move out to sea, so we'll take a look at Nana here. And could a storm named Nana be that bad? But it's going to be a hurricane, unfortunately, and it's going to be heading toward portions of Honduras, and ultimately it looks like making landfall toward the Belize area with time and impacting Guatemala, so very heavy rainfall. Expected to be a Category 1 hurricane, and sometimes these get even stronger in this part of the Gulf of Honduras, so it may get a little bit stronger than forecast, but nonetheless not impacting us here in the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, as we track the moisture, you can see that kind of dissipating over Central America. Some of that moisture may try to poke up our way as we get into Friday and the weekend. That's when we'll bring the rain chances up a little bit. Can't go much higher than 10 or 20% going into the weekend. Then it gets more interesting. A little bit of a weak backdoor front trying to come in Sunday, but the European model is kind of taking away any cooling with that front, and then even a stronger front showing up but down the line, but this is 9-10 days down the road, so we're going to have to wait for our cooler air if we're going to see any. But there is the possibility of tropical activity showing up and developing in the southern Gulf of Mexico, perhaps the western Caribbean, or way out here in the Atlantic. So it is that time of year, and we do expect storms to get going. In fact, I think it's going to be busier 2 to 3 weeks down the road, so we don't need that. But here's the GFS model for those looking for the cool front. The GFS says it's coming through at about 8 or 9 days from today, but you know how good we are forecasting 8 or 9 days out. There's lots of room for error, so we won't buy into that front quite yet until we see it about 6 or 7 days on the horizon. Then we're going to jump on it big time. Upper 70s to near 80 the low tonight, lower 90s tomorrow. That heat index once again in the lower 100s. Not much change for Thursday. So a hazy full corn moon out there tonight, 79 the low, so another sultry evening. Then tomorrow up to 91 for the high, that heat index up to 104. At least we'll have a little bit of a breeze during the afternoon. And as we go down the road, temperatures lower 90s, rain chances still quite low, but perk up a little bit this weekend. Looks like a better chance of showers and storms as those fronts get closer to us for the middle part of next week. But right now, not forecasting much cooling, but tomorrow we'll take a look at the data and hopefully have better news. Jim?
Okay, fingers crossed. Thanks, Rob.